Hi everybody, how are you all doing? Welcome to episode 10 of Sydney Social Live. Thank you so much for spending a part of your Sunday with us. Now, what is Sydney Social Live all about? It is a one-of-its-kind, thought-provoking talk show where we put the spotlight on harsh hidden realities of modern-day social life. I say hidden realities because a lot of people are struggling with these issues, but not many people are talking about them, except us here at Sydney Social Live. So the purpose of this show is to spark important conversations, promote positivity, and to foster a community that is accepting and non-judgmental. Now, as you all know, each week I have a special guest. And today we have the wonderful one and only Neeru Saluja. So join me in welcoming Neeru to Sydney Social Live. Thank you so much for joining us today, Neeru.
Thank you for having me, Nim, and hi everyone.
I hope you are as excited as we are. So Neeru, I'm going to start by introducing yourself.
Sure.
And reading a little bit about your amazing journey. Very hard to encapsulate it all in just a few words, but look, let me give it a go. So everybody, Neeru is a strategic communication manager working on large-scale and complex infrastructure projects for Transport New South Wales. When she's not doing her day job, she loves writing about the filmy world. I've read a lot of her articles and she's good. With 25 years of experience as a journalist, she now freelances and specializes in Bollywood celebrity interviews. She has also covered music concerts, comedy shows, plays, and she's interviewed artists for the Sydney Film Festival, the Indian Film Festival in Melbourne. How do you say this? Womadelaide? Womadelaide, AACTA, and the Asia Pacific Screen Awards. All of that, and you look amazingly calm for someone who's constantly multitasking and doing so much stuff.
It's my passion and I love what I do. So when you love something that you do, it comes with ease.
It doesn't seem like work, they say.
No,
right?
it doesn't seem like work. It's all fun all the way.
Fabulous. So tell us a little bit about your childhood years, Neeru. I know it's been quite a journey. And a lot of people may not even be aware of it, like I wasn't about some parts of it.
Sure.
So, yeah.
No, definitely. So I was born in England, and then our family moved to Canada. So after spending a few years in England and Canada, my family relocated to India. And I come from a family of doctors, so I was on the footsteps of following that tradition, but my heart was set on becoming a journalist.
Very different.
Absolutely, very different. So I started my higher education in communications and started working. While I was studying, I actually wrote a career column for the Indian Express. And that's how my journalistic journey started. And then I extensively worked with Times of India. And marriage brought me to Australia. And I pursued my love for communications and media over here also.
Amazing.
So next year I'm actually going to mark 20 years of my journey in Australia.
High five on that.
Yep.
That's amazing.
And as a comms professional, so something really that, I'm excited to mark this milestone.
Yeah.
And my parents always taught me that, whichever country you live in, you embrace the culture, and then the country in return will open their arms to it. So Australia's home now.
That is amazing. And I love the fact that you started out on one journey, which was medicine. And it takes a lot of courage, Neeru, because a lot of people get stuck in those. Sometimes it's family expectations. Sometimes it's, okay, I think I'm expected to do this. And then you don't take that step back and don't pursue. So kudos to you for doing that.
No, thank you. It was hard, but, I got there with the support of my family.
So you are a true testament to the follow your heart sort of.
I do believe that. Follow your heart, follow your passion, and you will get
so
there.
Important. Now, I know a lot of people watching it might be considering a career in journalism. And you've been in that field for a long time. You've seen the ups, the downs, all of that. What advice would you give to people who are considering this line of work down the track?
No, definitely. Look, I would say that, when I started my career, which was more than 2 decades ago, a print medium was the only medium. And to get a byline also was a struggle then in newspapers. But today, it's like a whole world out there. You've got social media platforms, you've got blogs, you've got Instagram, you've got Facebook. So just start writing. Don't hold yourself back in writing. Get your articles, get your writings published, even if it's with a small local newspaper, or don't wait for those, big bylines or big. Just start writing, blog.
Yeah.
Put your thoughts up on your social media channels. So just get yourself out there.
And do it voluntarily if they have to.
Absolutely, that's how I started my journey in Australia. I volunteered. I volunteered for the Sydney Film Festival. I volunteered for a magazine in Melbourne, and I was a cuisine editor. So I would go out to restaurants and write about them,
Nice.
which was great because I got to taste some really delicious food also.
Perks of the job.
So perks of the job, but it was all volunteer.
Yeah.
I wasn't. But then that's when when you apply for jobs in Australia as an immigrant, they do ask for your local experience, and that was my local experience.
So true. Because that's what holds a lot of migrants back, right?
Yes.
That they don't have the local
experience. So that's what I tell to any immigrant, especially from the field that I belong to, that do volunteer, get yourself used to the work culture.
Absolutely. And you can't measure everything in terms of money. I think a lot of people are hesitating to do things if it doesn't immediately pay them.
Yes.
But you yourself are a fine example of the fact that sometimes the experience is far more valuable. It gets onto your resume.
Yes.
And it opens doors.
Absolutely. And, it's two ways. So you can always, do a job that pays the bills.
Yeah.
And then on the side, pursue your creative pursuits also.
What they call the side hustle.
The side hustle, yes.
Did you know that there's a new buzzword in town? It's called portfolio careers, and that is a post-COVID sort of, it's been around for a while, but it's a post-COVID thing, buzzword, which means a lot of people are doing 3 days a week, let's say they're doing in IT, or 3 days a week in HR.
Okay.
And then the remaining 2 days they are in a photography studio, or they're doing journaling or journalist work, that kind of thing, because they've realized after COVID, that I don't want to spend my entire life just doing one thing. I haven't had the chance to explore other parts of my personality. So there you go.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
And it's the same with me. 5 days I do my job, which I love because it is in the communications field. And then whenever I get time, I pick up my pen and start writing.
So she's got a portfolio career as well. There you go.
Well, thank you. I've learned something new today.
Fabulous. So, Neeru, we've got some chatpata topics ready.
We do.
For our audience who has come to expect chatpata topics. So, and I know a lot of people are looking forward, but before that, Shipra has said hi. She says, 2 of my favorite girls with a little heart. Hi, Shipra.
Hi, Shipra.
So please leave your comments, everybody. I will do my best to read them out to Neeru, and if for whatever reason we are not able to get to your comments, we will definitely respond later. So Neeru, are we ready to dive into our topics?
Let's go.
Let's go. Okay. So our first topic for the day is your stomping ground, which is social media. And I believe that nowadays social media has come to be a blessing as well as a curse. What is your take on this?
Well, let's start off with the good things, how it's a blessing. So social media, as human beings, we need to stay connected, and social media has provided that purpose to us.
Yes.
It's also a platform where people can, promote their businesses, promote their events, and it's a free platform for everyone.
Yeah.
Or even to voice their opinions, or people like me, if I want to write, I can put my movie reviews over there. And I think as immigrants, it's even better for us because it makes us connected with our families that are overseas.
True.
And in COVID, people have really realized the importance of social media. When we were, when the whole world was locked down, we were connected via social media. Not only connected, but we were entertained also via social media.
Oh, yes.
I'm sure we were waiting for, Facebook and Instagram posts to know which are the latest Bollywood movies, and who didn't love Amazon Prime Video and Netflix at that time? They became our best friends.
Staple diet.
Exactly, staple diet. And as a Bollywood, coming from my own personal experience as a Bollywood writer, I got to interview many Bollywood A-listers, which would be really difficult to get hold of. So that's all the blessing. But when it comes to, a curse, of course, it's a powerful media.
Yes.
And social media has not come with a training manual, unfortunately. So it does bring its own disadvantages. We don't know the power of it. And I'm not talking about the disadvantages like cyberbullying or, how it's addicted, but how it has brought a change in the behavior to society.
Okay.
It's, it can be it can really affect the vulnerable people in the community.
Oh
that's
yes,
say.
absolutely.
You know, they take validation from social media. People follow certain people whom they don't really well know, and they want to know what's more happening in their lives, and then they engulf themselves in their lives.
Yes, so true. And the real life is never the real life, right?
Exactly, that's what I say. The real life is not the real life. Like what people are portraying on social media could not be,
further from the truth. Yeah.
Exactly, and everybody does put up their best, right? We don't put up the real struggles of what we are facing on day-to-day life.
Absolutely.
So that's the impact that it's having, and I think in the race of connecting to people on Facebook, you know, that yes, we need these many number of friends. We're actually losing the real connection.
So true. And it's also not just how many friends, it's how many likes do I have,
Yes.
how many views do I have.
Views I'd have, and seeking validation from that. So it's a tool that, it's a wonderful tool, what I believe in, but it's just how we use it.
That is so true, and mental health nowadays is also a very big issue.
Yes.
And like you rightly said, a lot of people are seeking validation through social media. And when they don't find that validation, it's somehow playing on not just their mental health, but also on their relationships.
Yes.
It's creating friction at home. So the best way I would suggest, would you agree, is to take it for what it is with a pinch of salt.
Yeah, take it for what it is, for a pinch of salt, keep on monitoring it, and not revolve your life around it.
Yeah. And if it makes you so unhappy, really, do a detox, go for a week.
Exactly, like the way we, do detox for our body, take different, do different kind of fast, just
social media detox.
maybe an intermittent fasting for social media. How does that sound?
That sounds like a great
But actually
idea.
you don't check social media from 7 p.m. till noon.
Yeah. I remember I'd done a post about this a few months ago about intermittent fasting for social media. And you're absolutely right. Take a break. Do that whatever 18 hours, 6 hours.
Yes, 6 hours. The way we treat our body, let's treat our mind a similar way.
Perfect. The way we treat our bodies, let's treat our mind.
a
Love
similar
that.
way.
That is fabulous advice. Was there anything else that we needed to cover on social media? We've covered most of that, what we needed to address. All of that is covered?
Yeah.
Fabulous. That brings me to my next question, Neeru, that you are somebody who has always worked with the written word.
Yes,
Like-
I have.
and like yourself-
And I love the written word.
Me too, that makes two of us, and I'm a writer as well, so I love the written word. But let's talk a little bit about the fact that nowadays a lot of people are preferring visual content over written content.
Yes.
What do you have to say about that?
Well, we live in a world now, right, of Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, and TikToks. And they're all based on visual content. And studies have proved that 80% of people actually retain visual content compared to 20% of the written content. So we are living in a world where it is dominated, and it's also, the plus point also, it's more accessible to an audience. Visual content doesn't need to be translated. Suppose if I'm writing in English, people who understand different languages can't read what I'm trying to say. But the biggest disadvantage is that you're not in control of that content. It depends on the imagination, what the other person is imaginating from the visual. And the imagination can go wild.
True.
I'm sure all of us have posted an image on our social media channels where people have interpreted something else. For example, I'll give you a really funny example, taking back from my Bollywood experience, that I once posted a photo of my interview with Akshay Kumar in a New York newspaper, and somehow my followers read that I'm actually going with Akshay Kumar to New York. Look, that will only happen in my Bollywood dreams. I wish so, but
you know what? That's not a bad thing for people to think, yes.
I was like,
that's not true.
I was like, okay, if that's what you want to think, that's fine. But no, only in my Bollywood dreams. So my advice would be, take time to process whatever content you're reading and then interpret it.
Yeah, very true. Don't jump to conclusions.
Yes, and I would love to hear from the viewers if they have any instances like
Similar
that.
experiences.
Similar experiences.
Well, there's Pankaj saying hi. Pankaj says, great topic and well said, Neeru. So you want to say hi to Pankaj Tangri. Hi, Pankaj.
Hi, Pankaj. Thanks for listening in.
All right, so that is a great point, and I'm actually the opposite. When I'm scrolling through my social media, you know, people post photos and stuff like that. I scroll right past, and the minute there is this massive paragraph of written content, that's when I slow down because I love words.
Reading, yes. Same. I call myself, I'm a woman of words, not a woman of numbers. So.
Talking about words, and I know this is not something we've discussed offline, but I also find that people are not reading enough.
They aren't reading
at the moment, which is quite sad. And people often ask me, Nim, I want to be a writer, but I don't really read. And I said, well, you can't be a writer if you don't read.
Absolutely.
Would you agree?
I 100% agree with you. You know, I was, yes, like while growing up, read a lot of books, studied literature, kept on reading. And I definitely think that's the base of my writing.
Yes. You can't be a good writer if you're not a reader. So.
And you don't need to read something that you write about.
Exactly.
It's just reading and getting yourself into that habit of reading. And I do worry, sometimes I do worry for the next generation that, you know, everything is so visual these days that will they lose the connect with, I love the books.
And now we have artificial intelligence and ChatGPT, which means that imagination is completely gone off the window.
Yes, no, it is very scary.
Oh, well, we just got to roll with the times and hope for the best. But look, we had the best of most generations, I think. We had the best of the good old world, and then we have technology, even though it's not too advanced.
No,
so
we do.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah,
We've got a good base. I think that's what's helped us.
Very true. Excellent. All right, so that brings me to my next topic, which is back to validation and people seeking validation.
Which we talked briefly about.
We talked a little bit about, but we'd like to dive a little deeper into that. So people nowadays are seeking a validation via social media. Let's expand on that.
No, absolutely. Look, while, as I mentioned previously, while social media is a great way to connect with the outer world and share information, there are also people who are gaining reassurance and validation from their social media posts, which could have a really diverse impact on their mental health.
Yeah.
We should not seek validation from, you know, the number of likes, the number of comments, or the number of views that we have on our social media posts. It could be a pleasure, definitely. We are all out there seeking validation, but it's a temporary fix.
Absolutely.
So we need to, you know, get out of that mode. Also, I think while we're doing that, we've started losing out on enjoying those precious moments. Like we could be at a restaurant taking photos, not only of the food but of ourselves. But we're missing
not only
out.
of the food. I love that.
We're missing out on enjoying that meal or sharing a conversation with the people whom we're having that meal.
Absolutely.
So they're just those small little instances, like when we go attend concerts, instead of enjoying the music, we're busy live all the time. When I look at people, I'm like, oh my God, like aren't they worried about the phone charge? What about their battery? Don't they need to get home?
Don't they need to watch the show?
Don't they need to watch the show? Like, aren't you worried about that?
That you paid good money for?
Yes, paid good money for. So I just think that yes, we're missing out on enjoying that purpose also about relationships, you know, like people are out there seeking validation from their relationships of posting birthday messages, for example, on social media. And I love my Bollywood examples, so
we love your Bollywood examples.
Bollywood superstar Deepika Padukone, for example, did not post a birthday wish for her husband Ranveer Singh on Instagram, and she received so much of backlash. People started doubting their relationship. But does she need to seek validation on a social media platform, or basically just wish him while, you know, they may be spending the day together?
Yeah. So basically, if it doesn't happen on Facebook, it hasn't happened at all. And you have to wish your loved ones who are sitting probably just right next to you, and you still got to wish them on social media to make it authentic. That's the way the world is.
That's the way the world is.
Yeah.
It's a matter of introspection, right? These are the questions, these are the thoughts that we are sharing, and it is worth an introspection.
You know, a thought just came to me.
Tell me.
Imagine an event where there is a condition of entry, maximum 3 selfies allowed. I think a lot of people won't turn up because
Actually, you're right.
maybe I should have an event with, you know, condition of entry.
That is a great idea.
Maximum 3 selfies. That's it. It will be a minimal crowd because, you now a lot of people are taking a lot of selfies.
Yep.
And a lot of them look identical.
They do.
Right? So we really need to consider enjoying, like Neeru said, enjoy the moment.
They're precious moments. Enjoy them.
And create those memories. Otherwise, when we look back at our lives and what do you remember of your life? Oh, I just remember taking endless selfies, and that's all we'll remember.
Right.
So that is a great point. Okay, that brings me to another one. Now, this one is a funny one. Phones are replacing people. Phones are replacing people.
Phones are replacing people. So phones are smartphones. That's what we live on these days. And then there's smart people. So the question is that are smartphones replacing smart people? You know, and while we heavily rely on our phones for everything, right? Some people just literally work off their phones. Or if I have to reach a destination, I put, the destination in my phone to reach there. But let's wind back, as you mentioned previously, that we come from a generation which was really different. And let's rewind back 15 years ago. Just picturize that we're standing in a queue at a coffee shop. And what will we do? We may bump into someone we know, we may look here or there, or just enjoy the smell of coffee. But what is happening today? Everybody is just, into their phones, heads down, into their phones. They could be strolling on Insta, checking their emails, or messaging someone. But what they're doing, they're just consuming content.
Yep.
And it could be really good content they're consuming. But
they could be reading one of your articles.
They could have been reading one of my articles, but the drawback is that they're not processing their own thoughts or emotions. They're not having any time to unwind for themselves.
And even to nurture their relationships, right? Because sometimes you go to a restaurant, I'm sure you've seen it, husband and wife, food's arrived, and they both are on their respective phones.
Yes, they're both on their respective phones. So, it is a question that are we giving enough attention to the people who are sitting beside us? So are the phones replacing people?
Yeah.
But giving an example, I was at a Bollywood party where I saw people actually dancing to their phones, and I was like, why are they looking at their phones and dancing? Then afterwards realized that they've gone live. So are the phones actually replacing dance partners?
We no longer need dance partners. Yeah.
Or I was yesterday at a sports bar watching FIFA World Cup, and I saw a family consisting of two grandparents and two grandkids, and the grandmom and the granddaughter were on their phones like all the time. So the question was for me that, okay, is the grandmom replacing the role that she has with her granddaughter?
Yeah.
So
it is so sad.
It is sad. It is sad. So, but a question that needs to be asked, right?
So what does our lovely audience have to say? Do you find yourself going to parties like Neeru said? I certainly have seen that, where people are, looking at the selfie and looking at the phone and dancing, and the rest are dancing sort of maybe in a group. And you're thinking, so it's actually self-sufficiency at its greatest, right?
Yes, absolutely. So,
but like Neeru said, there has to be a balance, right? Sometimes it's nice to just soak the moment and create those memories. Otherwise, looking back, what are you going to remember? So we really need to become a little bit more aware of that. Was there anything else you wanted to add with this, or we've covered?
I think we've covered.
We've covered it all. Fabulous. So that was our topic for the day, all our topics which we've done. So now we're coming to my rapid fire round.
Exciting.
Very exciting. So let's ask Neeru some questions. Neeru, I know you like chart.
I do love, yes.
Any chart lovers out there, just let me know in the comments. So I'll let Neeru know how many of you are chart lovers watching us here today. So Neeru, I want to ask you a question about chart.
Okay.
And I don't think it's going to be easy for you.
Is it a chatpata question?
Very chatpata.
Okay, go for it.
Chatpata chart question. So if I had to ask you to choose between Golgappa or Aloo Tikki.
Oh my God.
Difficult to choose?
That's a difficult decision. That's a difficult decision.
If you really had to.
I think Golgappas.
Okay, Golgappa.
Yes.
I might go. So I'm from Mumbai. We call it Pani Puri.
Pani Puri, I was about to say that.
For the
yes.
longest time I was thinking, what is Golgappa? Is this a new dish? Till I realized, acha, ye Pani Puri hai.
And I think in Bengal they're called something different. Poch.
Oh, is it?
Yes, they're called something.
Okay.
Something different.
Any people of Bengali heritage, let us know what Golgappa or Pani Puri is called there. Namita says hard choices.
Hard
Yep.
choices, agree.
Hi Jayanti. Jayanti says she's also Golgappa.
A Golgappa.
I'm an
fan.
aloo tikki person. Anyone out there who likes aloo tikki, or is everyone Golgappa people? So let us know in the comments what you like.
Oh yes, that it is Bengal puchka.
Padmaja.
That's what it is. Thank you.
Namita has also said that in Padmaja. Hi Padmaja. Hi Namita. Good to see you both.
Thank you, Namita Padmaja. Yeah, that's what it's called.
Jayanti says it's Kolkata. It's called
Puchkas.
Puchka.
Yes, yes. Thank you.
Fabulous. Okay, I've learned something new. Oh, Padmaja's aloo tikki. Yay!
Aloo tikki.
High five, Padmaja. Not too spicy though. I'm a bit fussy about that. थोड़ा कम spicy चलेगा. But then the people are serving me says, madam, इसमें क्या मजा फिर? वो तीखा ही चाहिए.
हाँ नहीं ज़्यादा तीखा मुझे भी नहीं अच्छा लगता थोड़ा ठीक है.
अच्छा. Are you a morning person or a night owl?
Oh, a night owl. That doesn't mean that I'm partying out
Right.
in the night, but no, I am not a morning person.
So we were talking earlier, and you're a writer, so your creativity comes alive. Is it in the evening?
After the sunset. Sorry.
Wow, I'm a total morning person.
My
but
creative juices start flowing
after sunset.
after sunset.
Right.
yes.
Okay. Now you're quite the Bollywood celebrity yourself because you've interviewed so many, and
Thank you.
Been with the high-flying people. So my question to you is, since you're also quite the fashionista,
No, I'm not the fashion.
stilettos or flats?
Oh, flats anytime.
Really?
Oh yes. I love my comfort.
Yes.
Yes. And
I'm a flats person as well. I have deep admiration for people.
I have deep admiration for people who can, walk in the office,
Dance
in
with
heels,
stilettos.
dance and, walk. I always, even if I'm wearing my heels at work, I always leave the house in flats.
Yes.
So no, definitely a flats person.
Namita says, Nim, now I feel like having both. That's what we've done now to
Oh,
everybody.
everyone's hungry now.
My thing is, every time I do Sydney Social and I ask this question, I always tell myself, okay, I'm going to, control the hunger pangs. But each guest tells me all these yummy things, and then I'm left thinking, when am I going to eat them, right?
I'm the same now. I want both of them.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, chai or coffee?
Chai.
Always been a chai person.
No, I actually was never a tea or a coffee person,
Oh.
and then I started with coffee, and I didn't never really relished it, so I switched over to tea.
And
But
hooked
yeah,
for life.
hooked for tea, and I carry my own tea bags.
Is that right? Very fancy. What about green tea? Is that considered chai as well by you?
Just like a
Normal-
nice
normal tea.
black tea with some milk. Yeah.
Okay. And final question in the rapid fire is, what's your idea of a fun Friday night?
Oh, fun Friday night at home,
Really?
watching Netflix. Yeah.
Pajamas.
Watching
fun.
Netflix with my family, get some takeaway food, nice glass of wine,
Perfect.
just relaxing and unwinding. And I love watching the latest, like a movie that has released on that day itself.
Oh,
so
wow.
I'll maintain a calendar so I will know, like if a movie is releasing on so-and-so Friday, I put it in my calendar and I tell the family and we have
That
to
is
watch
amazing.
it. Yeah.
I get a lot of good ideas from my
So
guests.
Heart of Stone last Friday.
You
Next
mentioned-
Friday is Guns and Gulab. So it's all
Take your notes down.
my calendar is
Ladies
sorted.
and gentlemen, yes. So if you're ever in doubt about which movie or series is going to be released, you know who to contact, right? Fabulous. So that was it for today. So Neeru, do you have any parting message for our dear viewers who have spent a very precious part of their Sunday with us?
Sure. I want to thank everyone. So thank you everyone who joined us in this live conversation. And I also want to say a heartfelt thanks to people who read and view my Bollywood interviews and other articles. It's your love and your love that actually makes a passionate writer like me going. So thanks a lot.
That is fabulous. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Neeru, it
Nim.
has been an absolute pleasure. One
It was-
writer to another writer.
It was lots of fun. I really enjoyed talking to you.
No, that's great. And we covered some really important, pertinent points. And
Yes.
thank you for sharing your insights.
Thank you. I love to hear from everyone.
Yes, please leave your comments. Those of you who didn't get a chance to watch it live, and you will watch it recorded, I'm sure. Because what else do you want to do on a Sunday night except watch Sydney Social live, right? So thank you so much, and I want to also give a shout out to Shipra Dvani, who's done the great set decor.
Thank you, Shipra.
Milan Sheikh. Thank you, Shipra, for that. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy your week ahead, and don't forget to join us next Sunday. Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Thank you. See ya.